Hi friends, I will make a quick video of the steps how to replace the shocks in 2014 Toyota Avalon with 3.5 engine. I already replaced my shocks. I was planning to do a video during the replacement, but I started kind of late and it got dark, so I was rushing and I didn't get a chance to make a video. But it's really simple. There are a few obstacles that I will point out. I never ever replaced anything like that before. I'm kind of an office guy, but the mechanic was charging $120 per wheel. I looked up online. It looked really simple. There is like 3 screws from the bottom and 3 from the top. There is no how do you call it, quick strut available, meaning the whole assembly with the spring. I couldn't find anything for 2014 Avalon. Mechanic did, but I couldn't find anything online. That's why I bought all the parts from Toyota except the spring, because I thought I'm getting into the replacement, so let me get new rubbers and everything else. But honestly, not all the pieces are necessary, to tell you the truth, if your car is not that old, and mine is not. Plus additionally has only 30,000 miles on it, but I drove a lot through the city, so I figured all the bushing or rubber pieces would be deteriorated, but they weren't. They compared to brand new, no difference. So I would suggest you not to replace them and spend money on it if your shock is really wrong. In my case, I believe the shock is good because I had a clicking noise, which I explained in the previous video. Alright, so let me get to it. Like I said, to replace the shock, it's really simple. I will post the link to my Asian friend who did the video, I believe on 2008 Camry, and it turns out to be identical to my car, the procedures, but still will walk you through it. So what I don't have here is the spring tensioner, which you will see in this other video that I will post the link below. So the only thing that's missing is that tensioner, and you need to compress the spring really hard, not just a little bit, but really hard, in order to put it back in. Actually, what we did with my friend who was helping me out later on, because I got stuck, and I will show you why. We already used 2 tensioners on one shock, and we forgot how was put it together. So we took out the other one from another wheel, and we basically without the tensioners, we unscrew that screw, and it just popped out. So it didn't shoot out like people were saying. My friend basically what did he do? He stepped on it, and he used the impact gun, and he unscrewed that screw, and it just popped out. So it didn't shoot out or anything. But once you use those tensioners and you compress the spring, then he said it's very dangerous when the spring is compressed. So that's the part you gotta be careful. Anyway, let's get to it. So it's really simple. You need a set of screws actually, and you need impact gun would be nice. DeWalt that I have is completely useless, even though it looks heavy duty. It's big and heavy. My friend had Black & Decker, which is low grade company, but worked really well. It was able to unscrew all the screws. I think the reason was like the hammer drill was much quicker than in mine, so that's the difference. But anyway, you will need 2 wrenches for this screw, because once you start turning this one, they will start turning. So this is 22, right? So you need 2 22 wrenches. Like I said, I used impact, so I'm not sure how hard was it to unscrew by hand, but I assume you will have to use some force. So you have 1 and 2, but actually I'm sorry, before that you need to unscrew the ABS. Is it loose? Wow, it's still loose. All right, anyway, so you need to unscrew ABS, and this is number 12 for ABS. Then those, and you have your control arm, which is number 17. What else do we have? And that's it from the bottom. From the top we have number 14, 1, 2. The third one is hard to get, but you need to use the regular wrench. You can put on top and unscrew it. So that's about it. And later on you need number 19 to disassemble the shock. So this is a brand new shock, and like I mentioned, you don't really need to use new parts for it except the shock. And what Toyota advised me to replace this, because this is this hub is deteriorating after a while, and it's kind of moving, so that's a movable part. So you need this. Inside of it you have the bearing wheel, and what I would advise you to do is before you start disassembling the shock assembly, take the pictures or quick video of how it is right now, so you wouldn't forget which directions the rubbers are going. And for example, the bearing wheel, because we kind of forgot how it was, if that was this way or that way. It's actually this way, so that red rubber is touching this, and that black rubber is touching here, right? So that's how it is. Then you have this piece, which you see it's an old one, and I bought a new one, completely unnecessary. You can reuse it. We have this piece, which, like I said, the car is 2014, so it's what, 5 years. I have only 30,000 miles, but I drive through the city, so it's still, I believe, have many years in front of it. So you don't need this. You definitely don't need this, which I replaced also. And then you have your shock, and you have this rubber, like I said, brand new, no difference. It's not compressed. The thickness was exactly the same here. I checked it, so there was no reason to replace that either. And the rest is the shock itself. So you know, this goes into that groove. I got kind of stuck how this was assembled later on, but the spring would kind of direct you how to do this, how to put this together. And I believe there's no difference how this is put together, because it's symmetrical, it's identical on all sides. As you even see here, that dot's supposed to be here, like it is on the other one. But this thing rotates on that bearing wheel, so it's really no difference how you put it. Okay, so now the part that I got stuck with, the new shock. As you see here, okay, as you see at the old shock, for example, it's already receded in, so it needs to be pulled up all the way in order to put it back together, because the spring tensioner will only tension the spring until some point, and you need the whole width in order to put everything together and put the screw back in. I'm not gonna put this anymore. otherwise you're not gonna be able to grab it, and that's what I had a problem with, because the new shock was receding all the time. So you can't grab it with the wrench because you're gonna damage this. So I needed my friend. He came over, and basically what I did, we pushed it like this, a little bit out and out, and this one stays. If you pull it out, this one stays at this position, but the new one was receding all the time. And basically what you need to do is kind of pull it out. Oh, you see? Look at this. Oh, comes down. And you need the whole length. So I was kind of holding it down right here when he was putting it together. So I kind of needed a second person, and that was the only thing that I got stuck with. Other than that, very simple, and you definitely can do it yourself. Like I said, I got kind of pushed in by my mechanic, who was trying to charge me 125 per wheel. I'm like, I looked at the videos, I'm like, it's not that complicated, and I don't make 125 per hour. So even if it takes me 2 hours, I'm still ahead. So that's exactly what I did. And if you have any other comments, share it with us. Hopefully this will help somebody else. All right. Let me see. I wrote the list. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think I covered all the issues and minor obstacles. All right. Hope it helps. Thanks. Bye bye.